Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a vlog from early January. I wasn't sure if I was gonna edit or post any of this footage because so much time had passed, but a lot of you said in my last video that you just like a lot of my home stuff, so I thought I would get it edited and post it. So mainly this video is me just decluttering and cleaning and stuff. I get very in the mood for that in the beginning of the year. So I started with my closet, and I keep my jewelry box in my closet. So I decluttered that as well, which I don't have a lot of jewelry. Most of it is costume jewelry. So I had a few pieces that I hadn't worn or used for a while. Marley, of course, she was supervising this process. So I did that, and then when I'd cleaned the closet out, I brought out all of my Christmas clothes and things to go through. I think I do end up getting rid of some of that. And then I got this for Christmas. It's like a caboodle, but not an 80s one. This one was late 90s. I think I mentioned it in the Christmas video, but I had the same one when I was in high school, so I wanted to put all of my nail stuff in there, so that's what I ended up doing, and it worked out perfect. I had just been keeping it in this basket all loose for a while, and I think I showed a few seconds ago a Christmas bag filled with stuff. It was just filled with things I had got for Christmas that I wanted to put away, new nail files, things like that. So basically, I spent the first couple of days, I think, just in my room, basically just decluttering all the areas and cleaning of my room. I feel like I do love Christmas decorations and having the house decorated for Christmas, but I feel like after a while, it's so nice to not have as much clutter around. So I think that's why I get so motivated to do it. And it's a new year, I guess, but my nail stuff ended up fitting in there perfectly. It couldn't have worked out any more perfect. So that was great. And then I get the nostalgia of having this case. I also got this Wicked wet brush for Christmas, which I'm so excited about. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this by now, but The Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie of all time, and when I saw this brush, I immediately wanted it. Now, I do have one, that black one I showed there. It's not a name brand one, but it's the weirdest material. It's almost like a mixture of plastic and rubber, and the feel of it after time is so gross that I couldn't wait to throw it away. But I also got new bobby pins and things like that too, because mine were just looking really rough. So I ended up cleaning out my vanity. Yeah, you can see right now it's just piled up with a bunch of stuff, but I gave that, I took everything out, and I rearranged my organizer things in there and got rid of a few things. I felt so good. But mostly I got rid of a lot of old bobby pins and elastics that were really stretched out and things. But I actually don't have a lot of makeup or keep a lot of makeup. I pretty much do one of everything, and when it runs out, I'll buy a new one. So I was able to reconfigure it that I could fit the wet brush in there as well, which is what I was hoping for. So I love decluttering it. It feels so good. It's such an immediate payoff, I guess, especially if you do a small area. But I just got rid of a couple of things. I tried last year to get rid of things that I was keeping because I felt bad throwing them away. But I just made either use it or get rid of it. So I just got rid of two things that were a foundation that was the wrong shade that I thought I could mix with another foundation, but it was too much. Anyway, I cleaned up my purse too. And then this purse, I love this purse so much. It's 10 years old, but I noticed it literally started to disintegrate. I haven't used it in a very long time, but I have another purse that's by the same company that I had used just the week before, and I noticed it was disintegrating. And so I thought I would look at this one because it's just been sitting in my closet for a while, and it's made from fake leather because I'm a vegan. So I guess that's why. Maybe, I don't know. Not all vegan leather is like made from the same stuff. So, because the black purse I showed is also made from vegan leather, which seems to be doing fine. But anyway, I had to say goodbye to it because it literally was disintegrating. But I got a lot of years out of it. So it did get lots of use. And then I was cleaning out these drawers. Does anyone remember when I thrifted this Hello Kitty Christmas notebook? I totally forgot about it. I could have been using it during Christmas to write my to-do lists, but maybe next year. This bottom drawer is where I just keep a lot of notebooks and journals and things. So I wanted to get out my 2025 journal that I just journal like a little couple lines in every night, and I put a picture in there as well. I've shown that before, I believe, like from a different year, but I think this is my 4th year doing it in these same journals, which I get from the dollar store for just a couple dollars, but it's the perfect size for what I want it for. And then in the same drawer, I had a bunch of other journals that I had never used before. So I wanted to have a look at those and make some decisions. And then I'm leafing through these. It's like memorabilia to scrapbook that I haven't done yet because I'm like years behind on scrapbooking. But so this one was dreams. I think when I bought this, I thought it was like a dream journal, like to journal the dreams that you have. But it's not. It's more like dreams for your life. So I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use this because I knew that I had a journal in there that was like a goal journal, and to me it's like almost the same. I'm not going to use both of them if I was going to use any of them. So the goals journal was pretty much kind of the same as the dreams one, except I liked the format of it better. So if I was going to use either, I would use that one. So I put that one aside as like a maybe and decided to get rid of the dreams one. And then like I have this bucket list one too, which I think it still had the thing on. I've had these for a few years in there, but I realized like if I was going to make a bucket list, I would probably just make it on like one sheet of paper, and I wouldn't need a whole book to write it all in. So I just thought I should just donate that too, instead of hanging on to it thinking I'm going to eventually use it. And then I have this like other one where you make like, I think it's like a list every week of the year, which I think I've had this one for a few years too. And I always say like, oh, I'll start it in the new year, but then I haven't started it. So I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to fill this out every week. So I should like, it hasn't been used. So I should just donate it to, hopefully somebody will find it and use it and get joy from it. But right now it's just taking up space. So I did decide to keep the goals journal, and I have been using it. So that was kind of the deal I made with myself. I was like, all right, if you keep this and you don't use it within like a couple of weeks, then you're going to get rid of this one too. But I did start using it. And then, so here, I think I'm going through the Christmas clothes, seeing like what I ended up like not really wearing or wasn't, I didn't like or whatever. You guys know what I mean, I think. And then I just noticed this thing that I used to put pens in on my desk, but I never use it anymore, so it's just sitting there. So right in that moment I was like, you know what, I'm going to donate this too. So I actually ended up going downstairs and getting a box to fill with donations. But this Mickey sweater I loved, but it was way too big and it just annoyed me every time I wore it, so I decided to get rid of that. And then this pumpkin sweater I thrifted, I never ended up wearing that the entire fall season, so I was like, I'm just going to pass that on. And the Charlie Brown like a Halloween shirt was too big too, and I just never, anytime I thought about wearing it I was like, so anytime you feel like that about clothing, it's probably best to just pass it on. So I'm down here doing a load of laundry since I had cleaned my closet out, and I brought up a load of towels that I had down in the dryer. And then now you can see my living room at this point is a complete write-off. There's still Christmas stuff that hasn't been put away. But in other news, John found our Festivus pole. So any fans of Seinfeld out there, John had this Festivus pole in his, like he used to put it up in his office at work, but he hasn't worked in an office for, actually it will be 5 years in like just a couple of weeks, I think. But we couldn't find it anywhere. Like, it wasn't with the Christmas stuff. So we were thinking maybe he might have left it in his office, like in a filing cabinet or something. So he was cleaning his like closet in the basement out and he found it. So I was excited about that. So we packed that up with the Christmas stuff. But yes, so Christmas, there's a bunch of Christmas stuff still out at this point. But I wanted to do some food prep because I didn't want any of the produce to go bad in the fridge. So I made sure to take some. This is probably a different day if you haven't figured that out. So I took the time to go through, clean out the fridge and prep a bunch of vegetables and things. But on this day, I was making us like a steak bowl because I had a lot of peppers to use up. So I was thinking about how I could do that. I'm cooking like mushrooms on the side separate because John doesn't like mushrooms. But yeah, we're using this Beyond steak, which is really good. So we had some in the freezer, so I was like, oh, this will be perfect. I made some rice. I made some of the Subway Southwest sauce, like, but vegan. And I did the dishes while I was cooking it. So this turned out so amazing. In fact, I'm looking at it and I'm craving it so bad because that's the only time we had it. But I added some cheese too, but oh, so good. I think I might have put tomatoes on mine as well. One of my favorite things to eat is like a bowl of pretty much any kind. But while we were eating, we ended up watching this Joker 2 movie, which I don't think was as bad as what a lot of people said it was. But I also like musicals, so I don't know. That might have something to do with it. But then later, I'm upstairs getting ready to watch General Hospital. As soon as if I don't watch it during the day, I'll just watch it before bed. So I put that on, and then I was getting all of my journal things sorted and organized. Like I print my own inserts for my planner. So I had printed some things earlier in the day or maybe the day before. So after I got done watching General Hospital, I decided to watch this movie, Honeymoon in Vegas. I love this movie so much. And Marley was chilling with me up here. I started to notice that Marley was not her being herself, just probably within a week into January. So we made her a vet appointment. The soonest I think we could get her in was I think we had to wait 6 days or something. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I like to wash and reuse my plastic bags. And I use freezer bags, so they're a lot more durable. So I'm not kidding when I say I've had some of them for probably 10 years. So I use that little stand that I thrifted. I think it's actually maybe for baby bottles. I don't remember. I just thrifted it because I thought it would be a good use for putting my bags on. So I've been doing it that way for years. But I was feeling quite worried about Marley, so it wasn't like an emergency or anything, but I could tell that she wasn't herself. So I find when I'm organizing or decluttering or something, it's like a focused activity that can bring my anxiety down some. I'm not saying it's like a cure or anything, but it can help, at least for me, I guess. I can't speak for anyone else. So I thought I would organize my spices and things and fill them up and just kind of do that. I like to go on a huge declutter and organize in my kitchen at the beginning of the year. So this was the beginning of that. I did post something about that last year, I think. So I pretty much do the same thing every year. But if people wanted to see it, because I haven't done anything outside of what I'm showing you right now, because then things took a very bad turn with Marley. I don't think you'll see any of that in this vlog, but after that, it got pretty bad by mid-January. So I haven't done anything else with the kitchen at all, but I could film that if people wanted to see it. Some people say they find it motivating when I share stuff like this, and I totally understand that, because when I need motivation, I find that watching those kinds of videos help. So anyway, yeah, I just took care of all of that, and it felt really good. And then it was time to make dinner for that night. I'm saying dinner, but we usually eat like the biggest meal of the day in the middle of the day, so it's more like lunch, but I usually call it dinner because it's like a big meal like you would eat at dinner. So making some stir fry and some fried rice, just trying to use up those vegetables. I'm basically trying to use up all of the fresh produce in the stir fry. And I had made extra rice the day before when I made those bowls, because usually fried rice, it's quite a bit better if the rice can sit overnight in the fridge. I don't know why, it turns out so much better. So I've got like onion and peppers and celery, I think, cut up in there, but I like using these mixed frozen veggies in my fried rice, and so I had like some left in a bag, so I wanted to get them all used up, so I just put all of them in there. And then I also put little chopped up tiny pieces of tofu, kind of simulating like if it was chicken in there. This is like my really lazy way of making Chinese food. So the rest of the tofu I just fried with this garlic sauce, and then I have some mini veggie spring rolls, and then like I say, I use whatever veggies I had on hand. That way I could just get them all used up, like this broccoli slaw and those matchstick carrots. And I've just got a little plum sauce for the spring rolls. Normally I would use like maybe some different vegetables in a stir fry, but I just wanted to use whatever I had on hand. It turned out really good, and I used this like pre-made sauce. Like I said, it's very lazy, kind of quick and easy. So we had that, and then I made a big batch of rice so that I could freeze some in these containers for like another time. Just that way I'd have an easy, already made homemade fried rice ready to go. Just have to thaw it out. And then I got the kitchen all cleaned, which always feels like the best feeling, especially if you don't have a dishwasher and you like have to always wash dishes by hand, and you also make a lot of things from scratch, so you actually make a lot of dishes while you're cooking. That's my life. So it's another day. I always drink my coffee in bed and cuddle with Marley. It's like one of my favorite things. So I had a few pieces of veggie bacon in my fridge I wanted to use up, so I just made a BLT with like 1.5 pieces of it, and I made that for breakfast because I wanted to spend a lot of time working on getting the Christmas put away. I was hoping I could just work really hard all day and get it all fully done. I'm not sure, I don't remember if I actually hit that goal, but I remember feeling that way because the whole basement was still decorated at this point too. And then we had run out of bubble wrap like here at the house, so we have these huge rolls. This is like how it came. Like I think 4 or 5 on a big pallet got like delivered. So we ran out, so John had to bring that one up, and I have to like roll it into smaller rolls. That's how I do it. But I took out all of the Christmas dishes from the cabinet, and I can't remember now like if I got rid of any or not, because I've been kind of decluttering the Christmas stuff as well as I was taking it down. But I really love these dishes, so I'm not sure if I got rid of any of them or not. Maybe I got rid of some last year. I can't remember. I know I have less than I used to have, but I don't think that's from this year, but maybe. Who knows at this point, but I thrifted all of them. So I was getting ready to put everything in this bin. I'm honestly thinking about maybe not decorating as much next year. I've been actually thinking that for a couple of years. I was listening to some ASMR video because I remember like, I don't know if it was because of Marley or just because there was a bunch of Christmas stuff still out, but I remember feeling very like overwhelmed at this point. So I was listening to Her name's Jeannie B ASMR or something, and it's like so comforting. But yeah, so I was putting away the china like that's normally in there, and I started to wonder if I should be decluttering that as well. So I was having a moment in the dining room this day. So this yellow china, I think it's called Golden Ridgeway. I don't know if it actually ever cleared up, but I was trying to show the name, but I think it was pretty much blurry the whole time. This is like the china that we thrifted like years ago that I love, so I definitely wanted to keep that, although I do think I ended up getting rid of some like extra pieces where I felt like, okay, I like it, but I don't know if we need like this much of it. So I'm thinking about like maybe I'll talk about it more in another video, but there's like a bunch of things I want to change in the house this year, and they're all kind of like connected. I don't know. I feel like my brain is like a big bowl of like tangled spaghetti noodles where like it's all like I think about one thing and that leads to a bunch of other things, and I don't even know where to start. But these dishes I'm holding, these belong to my late grandmother. When we moved into this house, my aunt, she obviously inherited them when my grandma passed, which was a long, long time ago. So she actually sent them to me, which like meant so much to me. I have a huge sentimental attachment to them. So I definitely wanted to keep those. And then my other aunt, she sent me these. I don't know if it's actually crystal or not, but it's like a cream and sugar and a butter dish. That belonged to my grandma as well. So also super sentimental. But then we have this pink china, a bunch of it that belonged to John's grandmother, who also passed a long time ago, like before I even met John. When John's parents retired and were selling their house, John helped them clean out their attic, and this china was up there. So he took it, not because he had sentimental attachment to it, but he just thought like maybe we would want to keep it. Now it's very well used china, which I actually love, that like she used it to the point where the pattern is like worn down on several pieces. I feel like you don't see that as much as you see like perfectly pristine china. But this one's called Briar Rose. But I was thinking, I don't know if we need to keep this much of it. I started to think, well, maybe we should just keep some pieces, like we have some pieces of my grandma's. So I was kind of brainstorming about that, but I just wanted to talk to John to see how he felt about it. And like I said, he didn't have any attachment to it, so he was okay with just keeping some of it. So I was thinking maybe we should just keep some teacups from it. Like we have teacups from my grandma's set, so I was just kind of thinking about that. So I put my grandma's on one side and John's grandma's on the other side, and then we can use the other shelf for something different. So this little, it used to be a stereo. I feel like I say it every time, but I think I'm gonna get rid of the snowman because I got another similar one this year. I've just been like piling things on the table, but I wanted to get in here because this is where I store and like stash some things when I decorate for Christmas, like regular things that are out. So I had this clock that we keep on top of the TV in there. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff in there I'm not sure what to do with, so it's just in there. But there's also this like sewing thing in here that I thrifted a while ago, but I don't have like a craft space. That's one of the things I want to do this year at some point. So I don't know. I feel like doing a house tour, but like where I tell you all the things I want to change or that I don't like, but maybe I could tell you what I like as well. But I've actually wanted to do that for a very long time, but I don't want to come across as being like ungrateful, because I'm super grateful that we like have a house and everything in this economy. But there's just some things that I really don't like about our house, but I do love our house overall. It's just things I want to change or that drive me nuts. So maybe, what do you guys think? Should I do that? Anyway, this is the clock I thrifted a few months ago for the kitchen, but I need to figure out a way to hang this on the wall safely because it's very heavy. And then this is the bath clock that I got. I think it'll be 2 years this summer, but it doesn't work. But I have since found out that I think I can get the clock mechanism, like a new one, and fix it. So I want to do that as well. But for now, it's just been sitting in here. But I love it so much. But I want to do I basically want to do a makeover on the entire main floor. So that's kind of another reason why I wanted to film a tour. So I could, I don't know, just discuss that. So that might be a good way too. But I want to redo the bathroom and the kitchen and the dining room for sure this year, hopefully. So the only progress I made on the living room this day was getting the clock out and on top of the TV because then Marley got up. Marley usually sleeps for a big chunk of time in the morning, and that's when I try to get as much done as I can. Because then when she wakes up, she just wants to be with somebody, and John's working at that time, so me it is. Although she probably mostly wants to be with me anyway. So then I just kind of spent time with her because that's my priority. So usually in the afternoon, we're watching our stories together. So, and usually I have a coffee or a tea, usually decaf. And then we have these things left over from Christmas in the freezer. So sometimes I have some of that with my coffee or tea. Marley decided that we should go upstairs. So I put the heater on for her. She likes that a lot. So I just put it close to the chair, but not too close. So while I'm waiting for the new episode of General Hospital, it doesn't come on until 3. Sometimes I'll just watch old episodes of General Hospital. So that's what we were doing, is watching old episodes there. So this is clearly the next day. So I guess I didn't get everything done in that day, but I'm using the rest of that bacon I cooked to use that up. Making my coffee, having my BLT, and then I'm pretty sure I must have worked on the rest of the Christmas stuff. It's been very, very wintry here. We've gotten a ton of snow, and it's been bitterly cold pretty much the entire time until now. There's actually a ton of snow out there right now. So yeah, I guess I just had it right to the basement to get started. And I was trying to remind myself, I think, to remember to grab that wreath when I was done. But I have the bins down here, and I was so determined to get Christmas put away because it was driving me crazy. Generally, I get it all done before the new year. But so while I was down there, I realized that Marley should not be using the basement stairs. So this is when I was getting super worried. So I told John we're just gonna have to close the basement off. Her litter is normally down there, so I brought that upstairs. I was worried she wouldn't like that, but give her something to eat, and then she did just walk right in, no problem. She hasn't been crying to get into the basement either, so that's good. But yeah, she was just really struggling on the stairs, and I just got worried that she might fall or something. Even if it was just she might have been just having a bad day, I just didn't want to risk it. So I did get everything done in the basement, but then I realized that Marley should not be going up and down there. So it was good that I was able to get that done. We got her litter moved up, and then she decided she was up for the day. I'm not sure if this is the same day or it's the next day, but I was able to get the furniture rearranged in here, get her litter. I just put it next to the record stand. But I got John we watch a lot of TV downstairs, newer TV shows, because they use text a lot on screen, and it's really hard to read that on the old TV. So we just brought this newer TV for when we're watching TV shows, since we weren't going to be able to watch, we weren't going to spend any time in the basement, basically, because Marley would want to come down with us. So we just have that on top of the new one. But I was able to get all of the huge roll of bubble wrap rolled up. I did that while I was watching TV one night, while John was at bowling, I think. And then these are some of the cards that I started to receive. So, life is really funny, and I think that things happen for a reason. So I was really bummed that I couldn't have this experience during Christmas because of the postal strike. But getting all of your cards and letters during this time was like, I feel like it was meant to be, because so many of you wrote like either in the entirety of the white space on the card or like included a separate letter. And it was so nice reading that during this time, especially because I'm literally freaking out at this point and just counting down the days until she can go see the vet. But yeah, it was just, you guys are so kind. Like, you write some of the kindest things. And so the living room, I got put back together, and then I'm sitting down I couldn't find my Christmas cards. Like, I tore the house apart looking for them. So John just got this mixed box for me so I could start sending them back. So a couple of you have said that you have received your cards back, but I'm still actually receiving cards. I just got one a few days ago. So I got all of the cards that I had received, wrote back, and John took them to the post office that day, and we're just hanging out in the living room watching old episodes of General Hospital. And then so when he got back from the post office, he actually had another card as well, and she sent a magnet from Texas for my fridge. But yeah, just thank you so much to everyone who sent a card. Hopefully most of you have gotten them back now, but I have still been sending them pretty recently. So a few months prior to that, I had picked up this vegan like Spam, and we hadn't used it yet, but I was looking for a vintage recipe that I could use it in, but nothing was really like standing out to me that, because it's already sliced in this bag. A lot of the recipes I found was like a whole kind of piece that you used, and I just couldn't really find anything. But I just thought, well, what would you have with Spam? what could be like retro? I was like, macaroni and cheese. I have some of that. So it was always called Kraft Dinner in Canada. I think it's to do with like it doesn't actually have enough real cheese to be called macaroni and cheese. But now I guess it's just called KD. But anyway, they've come out with a plant-based version. I think in the US it's called Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. Maybe I'm wrong. And then I had some Brussels sprouts I wanted to use up. I love using this roasted garlic and red pepper seasoning on roasted vegetables. It's so yummy. So I kind of got all that stuff ready for when I was about to make dinner. I've been doing some of my plastic canvas. So then I think the new episode might have been coming on, or no, this is an old episode. So I guess I was just watching that while I was waiting to make dinner. But here is what it looks like. So my grandpa actually used to just like fry Spam in a pan with butter. So I just decided to do that. And that's retro for me because that's like 80s, early 90s. So we had that. It actually was super good. I didn't think that it was going to be, but I actually did like it quite a bit. And we watched a movie that night, but I don't remember which one because I guess I didn't film that part. And Marley was there watching it with us. So cute. But again, this is probably us going to bed. She's so cute. She always like paws at your hand until you give it to her. It's so cute. Not great if you want to use your hand to do something like my crafting, but so now it's the weekend. I made us some brunch, a little breakfast sandwich with like a tofu egg, some hash browns. Oh, it looks so good looking at that right now because I haven't had it in a long time, probably since I made it this time. Got some orange juice and coffee. And we're watching, this is one of the main reasons why we brought the big TV from downstairs was too big to fit on top of this TV. We're watching the show called Silo, season 2, which is pretty it was pretty good. I wish the actors were like better quality in the show because the story is interesting. But anyway, that's like a show where they might show like text messages or something, some form of text that would be hard to read on the old TV that's like not HD. And then I just made us a really like lazy dinner, sausage and fries and some Brussels sprouts. But on this day, after we ate, John, he went out and got this. I found this on Facebook Marketplace, this old TV. I didn't even know it was wood grain because they didn't have any other pictures other than like a front view. But it even came with like the rabbit ears, and this brings me so much nostalgia. I had a TV very similar, except it was black and white in my room when I was growing up, like lived at home. But this one's color, and it was only $75, so very cool. So that we're eating our dinner. Oh, Marley's so cute. We probably ended up watching more Silo. I feel like we watched the whole season within like a couple days span. So this must be the next day. I'm having my coffee and just still working on my plastic canvas. I think I was almost done this one at this point. I cut a bunch of them at the same time, I remember, and put them in these Ziploc bags, like all the pieces. So I would know, but I'm just doing the top here with a little bit of green in it, and this is probably a Sunday. So for brunch this day, I made eggs Benedict, which I haven't done in a long time, but John really, really likes it. So I did that with, we had some like round, kind of like ham, they call it Canadian bacon here. But then later, I think we probably just watched the rest of the season of Silo. But later for dinner, I'm making us the feta tomato pasta, which I'm still obsessed with. I've been obsessed with this since I first tried it. I don't actually follow a recipe though anymore, but I do like to add vegetables to it and sausage. And I do like cubed pieces of tofu to kind of simulate like chicken. And then I was putting a little Parmesan on top because I had some in the fridge to use. So, and usually I just do it with fusilli is like my favorite pasta. And I just had some of this no salt seasoning, but it's so good. It's so easy to make too. I think maybe one of the biggest differences in like the recipe is, I remember the first time I made it, I used the recipe and it called for like a half a cup of oil, which is insane to me. But I don't put any oil in it at all. Maybe a drizzle of olive oil, but that's pretty much it. So I ended up finishing the Kleenex box that day. So I put that one in John's room, and Marley's having her dinner upstairs. She's so funny. And then this is a different day, but the Spam we had, the fake Spam we had was so good that I made some like ham out of tofu, and I had some potatoes to use up. So I made some potato salad and some macaroni salad as like an easy, we've been having a lot of easy meals since Marley's been not well. So we're just upstairs getting ready to watch our story. And then I was doing this before bed, but I had a basket of laundry to fold while I did that. Sometimes I'll like not watch a few episodes, so I'll have like a few of them to watch. But then TCM had Olivia Wilde on to like program. Usually they program like 2 movies that are related in some way to that person. So the first one was Grey Gardens, which I love, but the second one was Auntie Mame, which I had never seen that movie before, but I freaking loved it. And I remember Anna from Cooking the Books in her Q&A said that she loved that movie, so I already had it recorded from when this was on, so it made me want to watch it more. When I heard her mention it, I don't know how I've never seen that before, but I thought maybe I might have and didn't remember, but because that happens sometimes when I watch old movies, like I'll get into the movie and be like, oh, I remember this. But I didn't remember any of the movie, but it was really good. It was long, but I love a long movie. Like, give me a 3-4 hour movie and I'm so happy. I actually wish like there was more movies that got made now, a days that were really long like that. And so I'm giving you a glimpse into the abyss of what is under the china cabinet, which I haven't gone through. I was feeling like I was going to do it that day, but then once I looked at it, I was like, I don't know if I feel like doing this. So I still haven't done that yet, so maybe I'll film it when I do it. But I did pull out some of the mugs I had tucked away in there to make room for Christmas mugs after I put all the Christmas mugs away. I was like, wait, where are all the mugs? And then I remembered that's where I put them. So I've either got a load of laundry to fold or that's a load waiting to go downstairs. But it's always nice when the kitchen's all nice and clean. And instead of doing the china cabinet, I just changed around a few things in the living room. I moved Marley's litter to the other side, and I had to swap the hanging plant things to the opposite sides. And I thought there was like space there that I could bring her little tower up from the basement since she's not going to go down there anymore. But it turns out she's actually like, she can't even use the tower anymore. So that's, I think I'm just going to like donate it, or we have like a free like Facebook group for like our community where you can give like things away for free. That way you kind of know that someone's gonna use it versus donating it. But to like calm my nerves on this day, I decided to clean the little linen closet. I'm still not all the way through those Swiffer like Gain scented ones, but almost. But we had got some new ones. I just told John, get any, I don't care what it is, just not the Gain scent. It's so strong. It makes me feel sick. But I was basically just going in and like tidying up the closet, seeing what I had. I usually like to do like a super big deep clean as well. So I was seeing if there was anything that I was like in need of, that I could get that. And those tiny brushes I first showed, I was going to get a pack of those, but then I found a full pack in there. So I was like, oh, this is great. I didn't know I had those. So that's when you know that you need to like tidy up more. And then I did a big deep clean in the bathroom, and I like went through the medicine cabinet and all of that, and like went through everything in the shower, which felt great. And it's not even like a super big difference. Obviously, the bathroom isn't really going to look any different, and the closet doesn't look that different either, but it is more organized than it was. And I did like just move a few things around, but for the most part, this, like the way I have it set up, works really well. So once I find something that works, I'll just stick with that. Anyway, that is it for this vlog. I felt like that was a good place to cut it off. And then I did film some more as well. It's not the most cohesive maybe, because I was like vlogging and then like something would happen with Marley where I would stop vlogging, and then I like, it's been a roller coaster, I guess. It's been like, okay, it's not that bad, and to, oh, this is really bad, this is bad, to like, okay, yeah, it's fine. So there's been a lot of vet appointments and stuff. In fact, just yesterday we had to take her to like an emergency vet appointment where I was thinking like, this is it, this is the end, but it was not. She's actually on my lap right now purring while I'm recording this, and things are looking better. So I don't know, it's been like a very like a roller coaster for the last couple, like I guess like 6 weeks, 7 weeks now. But anyway, I do have more footage that I filmed from January, so I'll see what that looks like. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you got some motivation from this video. And I will probably see you again soon if that footage is like good to post. So yeah, anyway, thank you.